everyone, and welcome to Fandom Pop. My name is Soul, and today we are looking at every single anime I have ever watched. And the reason we are doing that is because I recently hit 200 anime that I have completed. And I know that because I use this site called My Anime List. This is not a sponsorship. I'm just plugging the site so you guys have a place to go to document your anime like I do. I'm weird. I got to, every time I watch a movie or an anime, I gotta mark it down, and when I finish it, I gotta score it, and sites like Letterboxd, sites like My Anime List, they allow me to do that. So, if you're an anime person, I would highly recommend it. This is like my main page here. Once you follow the link, this is where it takes you. It shows you what I'm currently watching over here. You can also do manga. I only started reading manga like in the past year, and like I don't even really update it all that often, so maybe I'll get farther into that when the time comes. But right now I'm just documenting my anime, and you can see I've completed 200 shows. I've been watching 10 shows right now. On hold means shows that I've decided to put for later. Drop means I've just decided not to watch it anymore. And we're going to go into each of those categories. But before we begin, I just want to say I'm probably going to update this list every couple of years. You know, maybe when I get to 300 or 400, maybe even 500. 200 anime is actually not a lot. This includes movies and like little special OVAs and stuff like that. Like a lot of my friends down here, they have like 400 anime, 500 anime, 1,000 anime, and despite I've been watching anime since like what, 2012? I've been watching anime my whole life, but like actively like watching anime, it's been like 8 or 9 years, and this is all I have to show for it. I am slacking, but I have recently got back into anime a lot, hence why I'm making this video. And if you click this little button right here, we have a much cooler version of this list, let me tell you. Look at all this shit. This is all the anime I've ever fucking seen. Isn't it beautiful? And we can actually go category by category up here. I think we're gonna start with dropped and like slowly go to the other ones. I'm gonna talk about each show, starting with the dropped ones. So what was it, like a little under 50 shows I had on here, 50 movies and shows, and we're gonna go to each of them. And this little thing right here will tell you the number of episodes I did see. Dot hack sign. My anime buddy on YouTube, shout out Anime Blitz. He was a big dot hack fan, and he really wanted me to get into the show. I think at the time, this is like post Sword Art Online, post all these other video game isekai shows. This show laid the groundwork for those shows, and I don't know, I just couldn't really I couldn't pay attention. I had no idea what was going on. I was just kind of bored, and I just wasn't in the mood for like an old school anime at the time. But I don't know why I put it on dropped. I think back then I was just afraid to put things on hold, so I would put dropped. So I'll probably give it another shot one day. 91 Days, do not remember it. Air Master. All I remember about the show is that this redheaded chick was like 6'5", and she was just like jumping around, kicking people, like just beating their ass. Like she was like an aerial acrobatic. That's all I remember though, but for whatever reason I dropped it. Be the Beginning. I remember this show like looked really beautiful, and there's just so much stuff happening, but I didn't care about any of it. I was watching with my fiance, and at one point we were just like, what the fuck is going on? And we at the same time both decided like, yeah, that's enough of that. Babylon, I believe. This show, I don't remember. And I thought this was a well-regarded show. I have no idea why I dropped it. Cheating Craft. Don't remember. D. Gray Man. This is a actually pretty popular shonen. I know it got rebooted soon, so if anything I'll probably watch the reboot, but I remember I had a good time with it. I think at the time, like, I found out it had like 100 episodes, and I was just like, oh, I didn't know I was making like that big of a commitment, you know? So I was just like, another time. A Death March I forget what is the English translation for this one. You can also just click on them and it'll take you to a page that'll tell you Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. I couldn't tell you. A lot of these shows I watched like for 20 minutes like years ago. So Devilman Cry Baby. This again should be on hold and not dropped. I'm gonna change that right now actually, because this show artistically looks bang. I've seen a lot of clips of this show. I think I just wanted to watch like the old school Devilman before I like jumped into this. But it was a really interesting show, man. Donyatsu? I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck this is. It says I watched an episode of it. I have no idea. I know when we get to like the shows I actually watched, I'll have more of an opinion. Dragon Crisis. I think I watched this like on my phone, like as I was like waiting for like my car to get oil or something. I don't know. It just felt like a really baby action show. That's all I remember. This is season 2 of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I watched season 1. I think I gave it like a 6. And even that was like a very generous 6. It's a very... I have a whole review that I need to edit for season 1, but season 2, just another episode of that, I was like, no. I can't do it again. Maybe one day, but because there's a season 3 now, I'm just like, it's just like Sword Art Online. It may be a little better than Sword Art Online, but it's the same kind of protagonist, the same chicks falling all over him. Eat Man. I think this was about a guy, like whatever he eats, he turns into. So, like, he could turn into guns and shit, and like, yeah, like he eats a gun and his arm turns into a gun. This is before like the other show where a guy turned into a gun. I think I was watching this like I was pirating this on a site, and I just didn't feel like doing that for 12 more times. That usually discourages me. Like I'll just hit random on like one of those kind of sites, and I'm just like, that was good, but like I don't know if I could watch any more of that. Elfen Lied. This is a very popular show. I've heard a lot about it. A lot of people hate this show. I did not find much enjoyment from it. Like I stuck around for like 4 episodes, but I think I'm agreeing with most people on that. I think I watched this because Crunchyroll has this feature that like again you can just hit random and it'll take you to a random anime. And I was like, I'm gonna watch whatever show pops up, and I'm gonna watch it all the way through. And I got this. I think it's like a mini series. Like all the episodes are like 12 episodes long or something, but or like it's a mini series. How long are the episodes? It should say. Oh no, they're actually full. Nope, never mind. I don't remember it. I'm sorry. After that, we got, I don't know what this is. What the fuck is this? What is the English? My first girlfriend is a gal. I've seen this show. Did I watch the first episode of this? I mean, I'll watch any show where like the main characters are all just like busty as hell. But yeah, I don't remember watching that. And this show, when it says not even 1 episode, that means I dropped it before I even finished the episode. So whatever that show did, it pissed me off. I don't remember this show. 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 I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. 7 Deadly Sins. Okay, my fiance really wanted me to watch this show. And I know this is another, like, show that, like, a lot of people like and a lot of people dislike. For me, it was just kind of like, the main character being this little boy character who like gropes women and like he's super fucking OP. There's like a really annoying talking pig. All the side characters were annoying. I didn't understand at all why people liked it. But maybe I'll come back to it. Naruto, this is after, because I watched all the way up to the Sasuke fight, because I have seen all of Shippuden. But after the Sasuke fight, when it's literally like 100 episodes of filler. I just didn't feel like watching that, so that's why that is. Don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. Peeping like the perfect. It looks weird. Plunderer, my fiance liked this show, and we were watching it at the same time. I didn't really like it, so I was like, you can watch the rest without me. It's more of the same shit that I don't like. Pop Team Epic. I don't know why I dropped this show. I remember this show being really fucking funny, dude. It's basically a big meme trolling show. It's a bunch of parodies. It's practically like a sketch comedy show. It's really funny. I'm gonna change that to on hold, because that show was great. No, on hold. Boom. Okay. Don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. Shangri-La. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I watched a couple episodes of this. The plot was just all over the place. I remember I bought the DVD of this, and that's why, like, I got it off of Funimation's website when I was still collecting anime DVDs and stuff. It was all over the place. The characters were really weird. It didn't really explain much. Studio Gonzo has a weird habit of doing this, where they'll like go like so plot heavy right away and just throw everything at you, and don't really like take the time to like really like let you absorb anything. Like, why do you care about these characters? What is going on? Like, let you absorb the setting, that kind of stuff. Like, I remember the setting being really interesting and all that, but this show, I remember having a really good poster, and it's by Madhouse, so I thought I would like it. I didn't, though. Slow Start, don't know what that is. Sword Art Online. One of my YouTubers I watched, and I ended up talking to him, and like I had him on for a podcast. His name is Sai. He had like a couple 100,000 subscribers. He has since retired for the most part, but he is really into this show. He is really fucking into the show. He has like this 20 video deep analysis on the show and the movies and the manga, and I know that this show has more than what I've seen because I've seen a lot of his videos, but we watched it together. He was just really excited to watch this show with anybody, even if it was just a random ass like me. And he was like, really, like, he was like, you have to torrent it, and I don't fucking torrent shit, so I was like, I can't just watch it. Like, that was this whole other thing, so like, him kind of be like a little bit of a control freak on how we watched it made me like, I don't want to watch this show with you. Like, he was like getting mad at me at some point. Like, at some point I was just like, yeah, the show was not very good. It's like a comedy show harem. I know that there's more to it than that, but they just jam-packed the first episode with so much shit. That's a lot of problems that anime maybe used to have more than still has, that they would, because usually the first chapter of a manga is like 50 some pages, and it all like is just jam-packed with content, and it's like when you adapt that into an anime for one episode, it's all over the place. Shield Hero. My coworker really fucking likes this show. It's literally his favorite show. It just felt like another isekai to me. This was a movie that like Super Eye Patch Wolf did a analysis on, and that's pretty much why I watched it. I think I just lost interest and I had shit to do that day, so it's hard to watch movies by yourself, man. Yuru Camp, this is just like a nice, cute little girl show. I'm not really into those, but you know, maybe one day. Alright, we're gonna do On Hold now. Akamega Kill. Another divisive show. I did not really care for it. You know, I probably would have dropped it if it wasn't a popular show, but it's another like very basic main character. A white sheet of paper for the main character. Big action show. Very little reason to care about it though. Assassination Classroom. This was actually a good show. It was interesting. It's about like a classroom who gets this like alien for a teacher and they have to murder him. It was really interesting. I don't know why I stopped. I think it was just one of those shows that like it was on my just watching for like 6 months. I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. I'll just put it on hold. Blue Exorcist I liked. I don't know why I stopped watching it. Black Clover. I think I watched like at least 3 episodes of this, but it was just Naruto. Black Lagoon, I remember liking that. I don't know why I didn't keep watching it. Blood Plus, same thing. I liked it. I don't remember why I didn't keep watching it. Carol on Tuesday, I was watching this with my fiance, and I think it was just like a matter of we were just watching so many shows at the time that I kind of got put in the back. Like every now and again, we'll glance by it on Netflix, and we'll be like, we still gotta watch Carol on Tuesday. Clanad, you know, the romance animes with the big eyes and the high school and I just couldn't do it at the time. Claymore, I feel like I watched like 8 episodes of this, but this was a really good show. It's really artistic. It's like a really foggy show. Like if you know Madhouse's style, like imagine a Madhouse show that takes place in a like the entire world is just a graveyard. Good show. I definitely need to keep watching it. This show I fell asleep trying to watch the second episode literally like 4 times, and at that point I just gave up. Darling in the Franxx, same thing. I just kept falling asleep. And I think I want to watch it again, but like I'm like, do I restart or do I pick up where I left off? I remember there's parts to it I liked. Some parts of it I didn't like. We'll get back to it one day. Same thing with Death Parade. I liked everything about Death Parade. We were just watching too many shows at the time. I already talked about Devilman. Fire Force. I don't know why. I just wasn't feeling the first episode of Fire Force. But I know I liked it enough to be like, I'll watch that later. Eve or Live. If this is a show I'm thinking of, there was a lot of these shows like Eve or Live, and there's another one down here. Like, I was trying to get into anime again, and I was trying a bunch of different shows out, and I do the same thing with video games where I'll start like 3 or 4 things, and then whatever interests me the most, that's the one I go with. And I think that's just what happened with that. Fairy Tail, I didn't like Fairy Tail. Flying Witch, very relaxing, comfy show, just not really interesting enough to watch all the way through. Fruits Basket, I think I watched this because I already watched the reboot, and I was like, yeah, I'll go back and watch the original. But you know, I know what happens, and I saw the better version of it, so it's just kind of like I lose a little bit of interest there. Just seeing their old designs is kind of like, oh, like that's not what those characters look like to me anymore. Full Metal Panic. I remember I was watching this on my laptop. Like my laptop had a CD drive, and I was watching it on my lap, and then I fell asleep, and my laptop fell and cracked, and I blame this fucking show for my laptop screen breaking. Girlish Number, Digibro, YouTuber I watched. This was like his favorite show of that year. I tried it. It was pretty. I just couldn't get into it. High Score Girl, again, I think it was like in those. I can actually say this about all 4 of these shows. This one would probably be my favorite out of these 4. K-On, same thing with the Digibro thing. But all these 4 shows, I was just trying to find shows. Usually I'll try a couple episodes of different shows. The ones that just aren't as interesting just get left in the wayside. This show, I don't know what the English version of it is. It's an interesting show. They go into like these alternate dimensions, and like the world is frozen, but then they get into like these big battles and there's these weird monsters. It was the same thing with Eve or Live, where it's just like I just couldn't keep watching it. I was watching it on like Kiss Anime at the time, and you know, I just didn't feel like watching Kiss Anime. It's inconvenient. I don't remember this. It says I watched 3 episodes though. What is this? I have no idea. I did not think I had like forgotten this many shows. Konosuba. I think I'll just rewatch the entire show of this. I remember like watching like 4 episodes, like really high, and I just like, because it's a comedy, I wanted to laugh. I just didn't remember it, and I like, this is all my fault. I just need to watch it like completely sober. I laughed my ass off with this show though. And I think just so much time had passed, and like I just couldn't do it. I couldn't watch the final 2 episodes after like so many months had passed. Eureka 7. I like this show. I don't know why I didn't keep watching it. I don't know what this is. I remember this, but I don't remember liking it. Don't know what this is. I remember this. This was actually a fun show. I should probably get back into this. This is that Phantom Color World. This was bullshit. The Naruto Rock Lee thing spin-off, the Chibi Rock Lee show. There's like 50 episodes of that. God. You know, I just wanted to turn my brain off for a little bit, and I don't think I have enough times where I want to turn my brain off as much as I did for that. So, No Guns Life, that was actually good. I don't know why I didn't keep watching it. Noragami Arigato. I love the first Noragami, and a lot of time had passed between this and the second season, and I think I just wanted to rewatch season 1 before I watched this again, because I haven't seen season 1 in like at least 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years. Princess Tutu. My fiance likes this show. I was just kind of like, I was scared. It was creepy. Psychopaths. I like it. I've tried to watch it. I don't know why I can't do it. I liked it a lot. Why didn't I keep watching Psychopaths? What's wrong with me? I don't remember this. Kids on the Slope, I remember liking. I'm an idiot. I remember this show I liked. Your Lie in April, I didn't really have a problem with. Food Wars, I liked. The Sonic show, whatever, Jessica Negri show, I liked that. Sonic X was like a show I was gonna like watch as I fall asleep to, because I watched it as a kid, and I was like, but I want to be awake, you know, like I can't just not pay attention for something. So I got 6 episodes before that frustrated me enough to where I was like, whatever. Is this that, oh, I know what this show is. It's, what's the English pronunciation? A Place Further Than the Universe. Yeah, this, I want to watch this show. That looked like a good show. Again, it's like a cute girl show, but like I can get through it. SSSS Gridman. I swear to God, I have not seen some of these shows. I do remember this. This is like an OVA. I think it was just like another Kiss anime thing. I'm glad I don't watch Kiss anime more, man. It just was so hard to watch it with all the ads and shit. All right, before we do all the shows I'm currently watching, we gotta go through what I'm. Before we go through all my completed shows, we gotta talk about what I'm currently watching. My fiance and I recently started Boruto. It's a lot of fucking filler, but it's easy for us to turn our brains off for a minute. Decadence. I started this yesterday. It was great. I can't wait to keep watching it. Dragon Ball. I don't even know if this would still be currently watching. I've not seen the original Dragon Ball. And the reason for that is because I had this idea that I wanted to watch every episode of Dragon Ball and review every single episode. And that includes Z, GT, And I had gotten up to one point, but then like over the years I lost some of the episode files, and I was like, do I go back and watch those? And that just completely discouraged me. And it's like, do I keep doing that project? Do I keep reviewing every single episode, or do I just review it as is? That's kind of where I got. That's kind of why I got caught behind. Inuyasha. We are still currently watching this. It's not my cup of tea. In all honesty, I'm just doing it for my fiance. It's a good show, but it's not like a great show, you know? And if I'm watching 167 episodes of anything, my attention needs to be caught, and it's just not there with Inuyasha. This show was another Sword Art Online wannabe. It sucked. I was mostly just watching it for the sake of my fiance. I think I can put that to dropped now. I don't think she cares about it either. Watching the original Pokemon still, like, just kind of in the background. I'll watch like an episode a month, really. This show is probably gonna be on hold because it's been on here for like months now. But it's like it's a really cute show where this guy is like literally depressed and just hates everything, and he's just a workaholic. And then there's like this fox spirit that's like, oh, I'm just gonna pamper you and take care of you. That's my goal in life. That's all I do for the entire show. You know, it's one of those shows, it's nice, but it's like, can it hold my attention? Wonder Egg Priority, I think I started this 2 days ago. It's great, it's amazing, beautiful. It's currently airing, that's why I haven't watched any more of it. Only the first episode is out. Yu-Gi-Oh! Same thing with Pokemon. At some point I was actually watching this pretty heavily, but like, it's something I'll have on in the background, you know. I don't really give a shit about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really cheesy, it's really bad. Alright, now, the meat. The shows I have completed. And I'll have scores for the majority of these. So, 18 If. I'm probably one of the biggest 18 If fans, and I don't even like it that much. But I gave it an 8 out of 10. It was trippy. The animation was really nice. Again, it kind of has that Studio Gonzo thing of like the pacing being awful. But it was fun, man. I liked it. Aggretsuko. You can literally just see me liking Aggretsuko every season just that much more. The whole show is like a 9 out of 10. Like if this was all just one season, 9 out of 10. Aggretsuko is a comfy, easy show that I love to watch every year. It's a real adult anime. It's a real relatable anime. If you know anything about Aggretsuko, same thing with the Christmas special. It's all great. Ajin, I have a review out for that. It's not that good. Second season is also not that good. The animation's pretty bad. It's better than other Netflix 3D shows though. Snow White with the red hair. My fiance loves this show. I think I've met like 4 people, and a lot of which aren't even like actual anime fans, and they love this show. And it's just like, I get it. It's like a fun fantasy show that like the main character is like a herbologist. What is that called when you're just a plant person? You take care of plants. But it takes place in an old medieval setting. These two are like, it's a romance. You know, it just wasn't that interesting. Akira, the reason it doesn't have a score is because I watched it before I had my anime list. If anything doesn't have a score, it's because I watched it before I made the list, and I didn't want to like score things I hadn't watched in so long because my opinions change, you know? Same thing with Akuma no Riddle, which is basically like a lesbian battle royale show. Amagi Brilliant Park, I have a review out for that, I think. I know I filmed the review. I believe it's out. It's about a guy who has to save an amusement park. It's fun. Angel Beats. This would be like at least a 9 out of 10. I love Angel Beats, man. Angel Beats is my shit. I think a big part of that is because it was one of the first anime I ever watched. There's a novel I wrote that's like heavily inspired by this. Anohana, again, watched it before I started the list. Same thing with Waiting in the Summer. Both those shows are great feel-good shows. I love them a lot. Beastars. I guess I don't like Beastars as much as everybody else. Everybody loves Beastars, dude. And maybe it's just because the whole furry thing, like it's a furry 3D show. Like, I just don't understand the hype. And it doesn't, like, have, like, a big climactic arc or anything. I think the characters are great, but that's about it. Bento. This was actually a really good show. It was really fun. It's basically about these people who love bento boxes. They love these bento boxes that they serve in the convenience store. Like, at a certain time of the day, the bento boxes, because they're, you know, about to get at a date, they go on sale super cheap. And literally, people start fighting for them. And it becomes like an actual shonen battle every time the bento boxes are out. They have these gigantic battles, and it becomes like tournaments and territories. It's great. I honestly have, in my memory, this is an 8, but I'll trust the me at the time who gave it a 7. I have a review out for this. It's not terrible, but it's a bad. Like, I gave it a 5, so I'm like, whatever. I know I was like, whatever about it, but it's a very skippable Resident Evil CG movie with PS2 graphics. And this is a slightly better CG Xbox 360 graphics movie. Erased was phenomenal at the beginning. As it went on, it like kind of lost me. But I remember the first like 4 episodes I adored. I thought this was gonna be like in my top 10 for sure. Big mystery show, time travel, A1 Pictures, the whole shebang. My Hero Academia. I have a fluctuating opinion about My Hero Academia, but as you can see, it kind of consistently gets an 8. Second season was like the peak, the sports festival, but like it gets an 8 just about every single time. The movies, season 1, 3, and 4 are all 8 out of 10. I'm also caught up on the manga, so I'm pretty sure it might squeeze another 9 out of me depending on how they adapt the next arc. Haganai, that's the name of the show. I wasn't really feeling the first season. It was kind of just like another like weird harem show, and then like the second season like really it smartens up. The characters all have like additional layers, and they have like these big monologues that like really make you root for every single girl, or at least these 3, not the little lolly girls, fuck them. But it's a love triangle that like really makes you believe it could go either way. It kind of makes you root for like the underdog, if anything. Brotherhood Final Fantasy. This is just like a filler promotional anime for the Final Fantasy 15 game. I haven't watched it since, because I played like half of Final Fantasy 15 and then I came back to it way later, but I remember this just being, you know, you don't gotta play it or don't gotta watch it. Oh boy, Chinibyo, Love and Other Delusions. The first season I remember being really cute. It's a fun romance show. And then the second season, they like throw in like an additional character, and they just kind of go, it becomes more of a slice of life show. And their feelings, like, you know, you've seen the anime romances where they're just doing nothing, and then like at the end of the episode, they'll be like, oh, but my feelings, what do? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to react, and they just do that every single episode, and then it just ends. Not that this show is the worst case scenario of that, but like, I didn't like as much as the first season. Citrus, this is a nice Yuri show. I have a review for that. I need to edit it and upload it. You know, I mostly just watched it because, you know, Yuri, but there wasn't much else there. I have a friend who's like into that show. He was captivated by the romance, so I just wasn't into it. Danganronpa, better video game than anime. I think most people can agree to that. But I did watch the anime before I played the game. But then I rewatched the anime with my fiance. It's a fun death game show. They're all locked in this school, and then it becomes Among Us. It's great. The concept is really good. The anime kind of like shrinks it all down and like doesn't really give you that time to like really be shocked, or you're just kind of getting thrown all over the school, and it's just a little of a clusterfuck. Man Wonderland, I will die on that hill. Man Wonderland is great. I really need to read the manga to know what happens. I don't like the way it ends, but the first half of Man Wonderland is spectacular. This little OVA special about Homeboy here, I don't really care about. Death Note is God tier. The first half of Death Note is God tier. It would still probably get at least a 9 out of 10. I've seen Death Note at least twice, I want to say, before I even made this list, because this is, again, one of my first anime. Digimon Adventure, one of my most infamous reviews. My buddy, man, he's a big Digimon guy. We got into these big Digimon versus Pokemon arguments, and he's a big Digimon guy, and like I vicariously love Digimon through him. I did watch the first season just for him. I definitely need to watch the rest because I intended to. I don't know what happened. Digimon the movie. I watched the English butchering like slap together movie thing, but I watched it like 1,000 times. I love the Digimon movie. I don't give a fuck. But Digimon War Game, all that shit, I really like them. I haven't watched it in Japanese yet, but I have a lot of good memories. Dr. Stone, I just finished this. It's a really good show. It kind of like got a little bit boring towards the end. It like two of them like most main essential characters it just leaves behind. They're not even on this poster, but I like the show a lot. It was really fun. Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Broly, Dragon Ball Z, which I didn't even need to rewatch. No, that's a 10 out of 10. I'm watching with my fiance actually right now, but it's a 10, obviously. And then we got Dragon Ball Z movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then the specials. I can rate this actually because I watched this recently because my fiance. I'd give that a 7. I like the Trunks special. Anyway, as you can see, I'm a big Dragon Ball Z guy. This is my show. This is my first anime. I collected the DVDs as a kid. I got those. I worked my ass off, and just to get $20 to go to Walmart to pick up each season of Dragon Ball Z, that was a time of my life, man. Good memories. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? I gave it a 6 out of 10. No, thank you. FLCL. I need to rewatch it. I have not watched it since I made my anime list. I remember it being amazing though. Freezing. This is like a really fan service action show. And when I mean like really fan servicey, I mean like titties everywhere. You know, when they fight, their armor gets exposed and their clothing comes off. So like it's realistic in that sense, but there's just titties everywhere. Fruits Basket. This is my fiance's like one of her favorite shows. We were watching this weekly. And then like we were watching a dub, so like Funimation, like because of coronavirus, the dub was on and off, and it took us like I want to say better part of a year to watch season 2. It's a really melancholy like cry fest show. Like every episode, there's like a scenario that's going to make you cry, and like I just am not invested enough in the characters for that, but. There's a decent love triangle. There's a nice fun mystery with this like curse that is on the main characters. it's a good show. I can see why people like Fruit Basket. Full Metal Alchemist original, I watched after Brotherhood. I think that's why it's not higher, but I like it a lot. I don't think that ending was better. The animation's not as good as Brotherhood. The character arcs just aren't as good. There is a couple things that are better, don't get me wrong. I like Ed and Al's teacher's arc better. I like, what is her name? Lust's arc better. That's about it, though. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood would probably be a 10 out of 10. I have not seen it since I made the list. Same thing with the movie. This is just like a random short film. Ponyo, one of the better Studio Ghibli movies. It's adorable. It's adorable. I can't say anything else about it. What is the name of this movie? Don't tell me. I've seen it twice. Origin, Spirits of the Past. God damn it. This is another Studio Gonzo joint. Again, it kind of suffers from that weird pacing thing I was talking about, but once you know what's going on, it's actually a pretty great movie. I remember I watched this on Netflix. Like, it was like one of the first anime on Netflix, and the opening to this film is spectacular. The opening is by the song is by this one guy, I forget his name, but it's amazing. This is dog shit. This is Godzilla CGI Netflix trash. There's like a bunch of these. Awful. This is not even a short film. It's literally like a fucking GIF. This is Elita Battle Angel. I liked it about as much as I liked the Elita Battle Angel live action movie, which is to say, not very much. Yo. So this is a 3 out of 10. I think I need to rewatch it because this is a... What is the name of this guy? The Juni... It's gotta say it on here. Somebody tell me his name. Anyway. It's a really offensive show. Like, it's basically a bunch of fish and sharks, like, start destroying Tokyo and the Japan, and it's they start morphing. It's disgusting. Like, this guy's whole shtick is like showing you like really grotesque imagery. I watched this on Halloween, and I literally didn't know anything about it. I think now that I have more context, I could understand. You know, it's just I'm not into stories that are just kind of make you grotesque. It's trying to make you like sick, and I get that that's feeling. I like the point of us watching anime is so we feel things, and like just something about just feeling grotesque and like feeling like humanity is like this fragile thing. Like I can't do it. Hackadol the animation. I do have a video out, for this out on Soul Show. I think it's like this little mini show. I think this was another, yeah, it's 7 minutes per episode. I think it was another, I watched it on Crunchyroll via randomizer. But I gave it a 6, so it's not terrible. Haikyuu. I have a video for the main channel here, for Fandom Pop. I have 2 separate videos, one for Haikyuu season 1 and 2. These are both really good. Second season is just kind of more of the same, but this is still like a great franchise. I definitely need to get caught up. It kind of has like some of the problems I don't like with production IG, but you get really hyped for these fights, man, and the characters are all great. It's a male volleyball show. It is borderline a pretty boy show, but obviously if I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, it has something to it. One of the funniest shows I've ever seen. The Devil is a Part-Timer. Also, this is like, I think the first anime I ever reviewed. First anime series, first movie was Summer Wars. This show is awesome. It's literally about Satan. Kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons version of Satan. Like in this mythical land. And he escapes to a random dimension where he loses his powers, and that magical dimension is our real world. and he's kind of just stuck here. He gets arrested by the police for being a for being like a freak in public, and then like slowly conforms to society and gets a job at McDonald's. Great. I think this is like a gem of a show. I remember having a lot of mixed feelings about Eden of the East. Like some parts of it, like artistically I really liked, but the story was just kind of like weird. I know that I need to watch like the movies that come out after it. It's just kind of something I need to get to. It's probably gonna be a long time though. High School DxD. This is another big titty harem show. This is like one of the biggest big titty harem shows. This is like top 70 popular shows ever. I remember this was one of the first shows I watched, and this was like at a time where I was young enough that like I would find like a trailer, or I would see like something of it online. I was like, oh, big titty like harem show. Like but like I would hate watch these shows. Like I would be intrigued enough because I was like 14 and I was into anime titties, obviously. But when I would watch these shows, like I would hate it because I was just like against fan service as like a storytelling mechanism, and I've kind of gotten over that. I've kind of just white noised fan service when I see it now. I don't really give a shit. But at the time, I would watch the exact same thing was High School of the Dead, where I think I watched Gigak's review of this, and I was like, I gotta watch it. And then it would just be so much fan service that I would get offended, even though I'm like 14. So I definitely need to rewatch this show because my opinion would probably completely change. I would probably love this show if I watched it now, in all honesty. Like a bonkers, just nonsensical zombie show about teenagers. Absolutely. I have a mini review out for this somewhere. It's a cute little show. Howl's Moving Castle is great. ID Invaded was boring. Ingress the Animation was boring. I have reviews out for both of these. I have a fandom pop video for Ingress. It's not terrible, but like the animation is it's better than most CG anime, but it's still pretty bad. Ghost in the Shell 2, obviously not as good as number 1, but I think it kind of was meant to be. It was kind of just meant to be like the El Camino of Ghost in the Shell. You just follow like the Bato, the secondary character, and he kind of gets on this like side quest of a story, but he like it comes together by the end. It's still the Ghost in the Shell universe. Animation is still great. This show was really cute. 1 Week Friends. Yeah, I watched this on Crunchyroll. Again, this was one of the first shows I ever watched, but it's just, you know, kind of a romance of two characters you wouldn't see coming together. Like one of them's really shy or something. It Girl, this is literally just a Pharrell Williams music video. Junie Tyson, my brother's a big fan of this show. It's basically all the characters in this show are representatives of different zodiac animals. So you'll have a snake and a rat and a lion and all these, and a monkey, and they basically have a war, and they all have attributes of their animal, and it's really fun. It's a really fun show. A lot of great action in that. K, I'm surprised I gave that an 8 actually, because K is mostly great for its animation. I tried watching it once before and I dropped it because the plot is kind of all over the place. The pacing is rough, but once you know what's going on, you know, I had my fiance kind of sitting next to me, like guiding me through it. So by the end, I loved it, mostly for the animation though. K Missing Kings, again, story didn't really make up for the fact, and the animation, like it's a movie, and the animation's just kind of the same, but the story is even more whatever. Kakegury seasons 1 and 2. Season 2 was really underwhelming. Season 1 was a lot of fun, but again, you're just kind of getting used to the characters, and you're really taken aback by everything they're doing. It's a gambling show, but like the main character is literally like orgasming via winning from gambling. She's like a really weird gambling addict who like literally, and all the characters do that. It's weird. Season 2 was kind of just more of the same, but like half-boiled. The world only God knows. Have not seen this in a long time. Probably one of the best harems though. It's actually an interesting take on it. Secret World of Ariete, comfiest movie you'll ever watch. This is like the first anime ever. I started doing this series on Good Morning Soul where I was trying to watch the oldest anime I could find. This is literally a GIF. Fucking The Wind Rises. I recently just watched this. This is probably on the underside of my Studio Ghibli movies. You don't really fully understand a Studio Ghibli movie the first time you watch it though. So there's probably a lot more to this movie than I first watched, but like it was just kind of boring, but it was still a good movie. Demon Slayer. God, I just finished Demon Slayer like a couple of months ago. I loved it, man. Everything about this anime I loved. I'm literally writing my script for it on like one of the other tabs. I said months ago. It's more like a couple weeks ago I finished it. I loved it so much. Your Name. The first time I watched this movie, I gave it a 7. The second time, I was like, no, fuck that. It's a 9. This movie's amazing. Kingdom Hearts X-Back cover. This is like a filler movie, mobile game crossover, dumb. But it kind of gave you a sense of what the cutscenes of Kingdom Hearts 3 were going to look like. You know, if you're a really big Kingdom Hearts purist, you know, there's a lot of lore in here. It's worth watching if you're a Kingdom Hearts person, but it's not like a good story or anything. Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15. If you like Final Fantasy 15, I would say you should watch this. This is actually pretty well integrated into the story. Not on terms of like your characters in that game, but like the world building. And it's animated really well. It's really beautiful, actually. Parasite the Maxim. It's another Madhouse show. It's creepy. It's about this guy who basically has like this deformation power, like his hand turns into its own entity, and then he fights other people with this ability. It's interesting. I kind of wanted like a second season or something to progress what was happening though. I wasn't a big fan of the show, and a lot of the characters, like I didn't like this girl right here. Anyway, Silent Voice was kind of just like a worse version of Anthem of the Heart, which is amazing. I should rewatch this movie because I don't really remember it. But Anthem of the Heart, like a lot of these melodrama, teenage high school romance / supernatural movies, like Your Name, like Anthem of the Heart, a lot of these movies kind of accomplished the same thing, and Anthem of the Heart just did it the best for me. A lot of the themes in this movie I hold a little bit more dear to myself, and I've only watched it the one time. I kind of doubt that it would still be a 10 out of 10. I think I was just really jazzed up the first time I watched it. Like the two main characters, like 2 of the 4 main characters, their designs I don't even really like. I don't even really like this guy's design all that much either. So again, I haven't watched since like 2015, maybe 16. I definitely need to rewatch it. Garden of Words just needed to be longer. You know, it's a 6 only for its animation. It's a cry fest mini movie. Ghost in the Shell. This is obviously like a classic. Once you understand the world and understand what's happening a little bit better, no, I don't want to look at this. Once you understand what's happening a little bit better, you start to realize how amazing this film is. It's a little old and a little like slow for my liking. The ending is kind of underwhelming. Not in terms of what happens, just in terms of how they present it. Then Ghost in the Shell 2.0 is kind of just like a slightly worse. It's literally Ghost in the Shell, but then they updated a couple scenes and added like CG and redid a couple scenes. It's a re-release, but it's a little bit worse. Porco Rosso I also recently watched. It's a lot of fun. It's Hayao Miyazaki at his Hayao Miyazaki-est. Little Witch Academia, I adore. This show is amazing. It's basically a Disney movie adapting Harry Potter and My Hero Academia. It's great. Made in Abyss, everyone loves Made in Abyss. Kiki's Delivery Service, I need to rewatch, but it's again one of the best Hayao Studio Ghibli movies, Miyazaki films ever. Mass Effect Paragon Lost, this was like a side movie that tied into the Mass Effect universe. I'm a big Mass Effect guy. You don't really need to watch the movie, but if you like anime and Mass Effect, I don't see why not. Megalobox could have been an amazing show, but a couple story pacing issues and a couple other whatever things got a little boring. Princess Mononoke, probably in my top 5 Studio Ghiblis. A Whisker Away, I have a video out on Fandom Pop about this. This is like another one of the oldest animes ever. I think this one's even like damaged, like part of it's been lost in time. Naruto Shippuden, 500 episodes, filler included. This would have been, you know, a 9 if not for all the fucking filler. If anything, it was a low 8 because of the filler. But I love Naruto. I know that like a lot of Naruto sucks, but I love it. You know, I grew up on it. I can't hate on it. And then since I finally watched Shippuden, I was finally able to watch these movies. We got new movies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think there's one other one I haven't seen. And then there's like the Boruto movie I haven't seen either. Obviously this one was my least favorite, and these other ones are just kind of like whatever. You know, they're decent. Mysterious Girlfriend X, I want to say this is like one of the first 10 anime I ever watched. If you have like a spit fetish, it's basically about a guy and a girl, and via their spit they have like this like, I don't know, this like sentient telepathic communication with another. It's weird. But they don't make out. She like literally like dips her finger in her mouth full of spit and like shoves it in his mouth. If that's nasty to you, then don't watch that show. Neon Genesis Evangelion. What can I even say about Neon Genesis, man? Again, it's one of those shows that was like an 8 out of 10, and then like I watched more analysis pieces and I started to realize all the things I missed, and I was like, okay, it's a 9. End of Evangelion is like the beautiful swish, the beautiful period at the end of this show. It's literally the ending of this show. They just turned it into a movie. It's great. It's amazing. This is MMO Junkie, right? Yeah, Recovery of an MMO Junkie. It's a cute little show, little romance about a girl who's a MMO video game addict, finds a nice boy. This show kind of pissed me off. Not that one, this one. It's really long, right? And You Thought There's Never a Girl Online. It's another harem show, but like, it's one of those harem shows where it's like not all the girls are into the guy. They're just kind of hanging out with him. But they essentially have video game club, and this girl is like a delusional idiot, and that's it. Then we got Welcome to the NHK, which would be at least a 9 out of 10. One of the first shows I watched. A lot of my first shows were based off of Giguk, the YouTuber Giguk. He's one of the best YouTubers out there, in my opinion. A lot of his early reviews I was really into. Ninja Batman, which I actually recently rewatched with a couple of buddies of mine recently. It's still great. It's kind of a clusterfuck of a movie, but it's a fun clusterfuck. No Game, No Life I need to rewatch. This is a music video. Noragami is amazing. Definitely need to rewatch that. The first One Punch Man, I guess I don't like as much as everybody else, but it's still good. Orange. I did not film a review for this show. I meant to do like a big video for this show. Not that like... I think that was a problem. I didn't have enough to say about it, but I still wanted to make it a big video because I watched the anime and the manga. And I read the manga, I should say. And I wanted to do like a double review, but I also like I had this weird mindset where my reviews needed to have like stories and plot to them. Like I was gonna add, and the problem with a lot of that is I wanted to be like Nostalgia Critic or something. And the reason Nostalgia Critic kind of sucks is because a lot of that doesn't work for reviews. You kind of just tell the same story over and over again. And you also need like cameramen and other people for that, which I don't have, so. This show I watched in a single day. Like for whatever reason, my friend and I were stuck at the house for a day. My mental choices are completely interfering with my high school romantic comedy. And we saw it was only 10 episodes. We're just like, you know what? Let's just watch this entire fucking show, dude. And we did. And it was pretty good. You know, it's another harem type show. Interesting take on it. I have a nice review out for that somewhere if you're interested. Galco Chan, this is like a mini series about like this really busty high schooler chick who like they try to have these social commentaries on like stereotypes and just whatever else. Literally, it's like whatever the animators or the characters like want to talk about that day. Like, she's like a busty blonde, and then she has a stereotypical nerd girlfriend, and then this chick is like a psychopath. So they like, they assume you're gonna put these characters in these roles, and then takes those characters immediately out of those roles, and that's kind of like one of the big points of it. Panty and Stalking with Garter Belt is an amazing show. This show is super fun. I need to rewatch it. Again, one of the first shows I watched. It's basically Powerpuff Girls turned R-rated and into an anime. Pokemon movies, I haven't seen these in forever. Except for the newer ones. And Pokemon The Origin is really good too. You should watch that if you're into Pokemon. Rain Town, I believe this is a short film. Rosario Vampire, Season 1 and 2. Again, this is like kind of the same thing as High School with the Dead and High School Dxd. Where I think I watched this one. This is like my first fan service show, I want to say. And, you know, it was the same thing where I was like, ooh, like, big titty anime girls, I'm going to watch this show, and then as long as I hate on it, then I'll feel good. I won't feel bad about myself for watching it. So, I would probably like it if I watched it nowadays. This chick with the purple stockings, the ice chick, she was like my first waifu. I love her. Beautiful Bones, yeah. This was like a mystery, like Sherlock Holmesy type show. It was kind of whatever, in all honesty. Sankaria, it's a zombie romance show. It's pretty good. I read the manga as well. Manga actually finishes the story. This is like a bonus episode. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei is a really Japanese show. And now that I know a little bit more about Japanese culture and like comedy, I think I would appreciate it more. I think I should just watch the second season though. It's about this very suicidal teacher, and that's the shortest version I could explain it. School Days, one of the most infamous shows ever. I have no idea, in all honesty, how I feel about the show. I'd have to rewatch it because, you know, you hate School Days, and then it ends, and then you completely rethink the entire show, and you don't know how good it is after that. Seku Boys. This is another one that my buddy was really into, and my YouTuber buddy, and it's another short series. It's literally about these talking statues, It's funny. It's a comedy, but it's weird, man. But you know, all anime is. Spirited Away, probably my favorite Studio Ghibli movie. I know that's the basic bitch one to go to, but like, how can you not love Spirited Away, man? Like, I adore this film. Everything about it I adore. This is another old, like, one of the first anime ever invented. Shaman King. I, on my old website, reviewed every episode of Shaman King. I love it. I would rewatch it, but they're rebooting it, so I'll just watch the reboot. Attack on Titan. This is how long the gap between season 1 and 2 was. Is I started my anime list in between these. But I'd probably give this an 8 out of 10. I'm pretty confident it's an 8 out of 10. Season 2 I just wasn't into. It's a little short. Season 3 though, let's be honest, great. I don't like it as much as other people do because everyone's saying like season 3 part 2 was like the best thing ever. The plot is still a little all over the place for me. Like, a lot of the time you're just waiting to understand what's going on. It doesn't like want you to know the secrets of the universe. But once you do, it kind of makes you realize, oh, everything I watched before this is better. Because I rewatched, or I should say I watched Attack on Titan Chronicle, which was like a recap movie. And it made me realize all the shit that I was complaining about, I had no grounds to complain about because it was just addressed later. Knights of Sidonia, probably the worst Netflix CG show I've seen. It's a boring space show. Sol Levante, I think this is like, ooh, what were they doing with this show? This like was a big technological advance. They did something with this. What did they do with this? Again, it's a short film. Oh, first hand-drawn anime with 4K. Okay. That's it, I guess. But it was good. It looked good. Soul Eater, one of my favorite anime. Definitely need to rewatch it. I don't know if I'll like it as much the next time around, but I know I love Soul Eater. Soul Eater Not is a cute little girl show that takes place within the Soul Eater universe. Basically, the author just wanted to write something a little bit different. This is actually one of... I want to say this almost helped me start doing reviews because I knew I wanted to do reviews even before I watched this. But the first couple game and movie I watched with that mindset, I think this was the first anime I watched with that mindset, and I had enough to say, and I know it's gone now, but there's a script out there somewhere. This is like my first anime script was for this show, but I didn't give it a score. Gargantia, this show is actually really fun. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's about this civilization that only lives on boats, and then there's this guy from space that comes down, and he's a human too, so he's kind of like, what are humans doing on this random ass planet, and why are they living on boats? Then he has like this fun mecha guy behind him. This is like the bonus episodes. Summer Wars, my first anime review. It's great, man. It's Mamoru Hosoda at his finest. It's a nice family show, good heart-feely show. Super Flat First Love. I think these are both commercials for like Louis Vuitton or like one of those bullshit brands. Then we got the Haruhi Suzumiya franchise. We got season 1 and 2 and the movie. I remember I loved the movie. The show itself was kind of whatever. Like season 1, like again, you're spending so much time not knowing what's going on, but once you do, it makes more sense and you appreciate it a little bit more. But I rewatched it, which is why I gave it that 8 out of 10 score you'll see right there. And that's why season 2, I didn't rewatch season 2, but I rewatched season 1. That's why season 2 is not marked. But season 1 just kind of doesn't do enough for me, and Haruhi's kind of a bitch. The characters don't have a big enough arc because, you know, they're going to do that later. But in season 2, they spend so much time on the Endless 8 that, like, it doesn't feel like it does it either. And then the Haruhi movie actually feels like the conclusion we deserved. Sword Art Online, Season 1 and 2, one of the most infamous anime ever. I kind of hate this show and love it at the same time. I remember when I finished it, I was like, that's a 6 or 7 out of 10. And then I watched all the analysis videos, all the videos about Sword Art Online, and then I was like, yeah, it's probably a 6 at best. Just like the movie. This is a cute little mini show movie thing. Gurren Lagann is phenomenal. What more can I say about Gurren Lagann? The last Naruto movie, I guess it was the best out of them. Tokyo Ghoul. Really gory, really bloody. Like, I know someone, his favorite anime was Tokyo Ghoul, and I like Tokyo Ghoul. It's just really gross for me. Like, it doesn't do a whole lot with that either. Like, I like the battles and the concepts and the designs, but like, I don't really like the story or the gore. My Neighbor Totoro. Again, one, if not the best, Studio Ghibli movie. Toradora, this is like a really good romance about like this very obvious tsundere girl and your kind of usual punk, but I'm actually a nice guy character. It's really cute. I would recommend it to just about anybody. And then after that, we got another old ass anime. This is Fireworks. I love Fireworks. I don't know why people don't like Fireworks. Again, one of the oldest anime ever. Violet Evergarden. And these are, again, like several. I think this is like the Tortoise and the Hare. Or something like that. It's black and white. Silent film. Probably a couple minutes long. That's why the scores are so low. Violet Evergarden, the animation is great. The animation is phenomenal. It's probably only up there for the animation. The story itself, you know, it's kind of the same thing with Fruits Basket. It's a good cry-hard movie or show, I mean. And I like Violet. There's a lot of things I like about it, but like, it kind of just became like the same type of episode every single time. And then they did the exact same thing for this special. And they did the exact same thing for this thing. Both of these. It's whatever. The movie was just another episode. This special was just another episode. What is the Watamote, right? Yeah, this show is really funny. It's about like the most awkward little girl you'll ever meet, but she's hardcore relatable because she doesn't talk to anybody and like eats by herself, but like is like really like venomous towards other people. I remember being in that mindset a little bit at some point, so that's, you know, I'll give her a pass. Promised Neverland is great. Everyone knows Promised Neverland is great. Can't say enough good things about it. Yuri on Ice, I need that second season. This is a low 8 for me, but like the animation is spectacular. These three at the front are all that matters. All these side characters I don't give a shit about, but it's a fun show. And the opening. We were born to make history. Then we got Yu Yu Hakusho. I watched this as a kid, but I only until recently just finished it. I finished it last month. It was really great. It went in a direction I did not see. They blow the fucking lid off it. All the characters are phenomenal. What more can I say about Yu Yu Hakusho other than it's God tier, easily in my top 10. In the past month, I've added like between Demon Slayer and Yu Yu Hakusho, I've added like two shows to my top 10. So I can't wait to see what else will be on my top 10 a year from now, 2 years from now. Who knows what my top 10 will look like once I've reached 300, 400, 500 anime. And maybe I'll actually give a shit about my manga in the future. But for now, that was every anime I ever watched. How long have we been going for here? Over an hour. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want any other anime recommendations, if you want to know anything about these shows, just give me a question, give me a comment down below. And if you guys ever want me to do more anime content, you have any ideas for me, let me know. I'll be happy to oblige. I love anime. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, with that, I leave you.